Oh, aloha everyone. Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. It's good to be back. I don't think I've made one of these YouTube public video lessons for about 3 weeks. I've been extremely busy on my end. I'm very fortunate right now. And at the same time, I got to be honest, my personal trading, total dog shit. It's been driving me insane. It's already hard enough on Maui to be around intraday, but with my personal trading, considering all the amazing winners I've had since the March lows, you would think that my account was up 500% this year. Wait till you see some of the returns we've had. And some traders on the website, bigwavetrading.com, have been able to do very well by allocating large amounts of their portfolio in each of these positions. Me, on the other hand, I have been hit and miss. I missed the March lows. I thought we were going to get a retest. I was hoping for an undercut and rally. I was hoping for a retest. I was hoping for anything. And then I kept waiting for a pullback, and I just never got it. And I kept waiting for amazing signals again. Kept seeing these high quality earnings and sales stocks that have been beating on the top and bottom line. They raise guidance. You know, the canned slim quality stocks, the IBD stocks, the stocks that at first earlier in my career I focused on and put a lot of my account in. You know the ones with EPS and relative strength ratings over 80. The 90 and 90s are always the best. You guys have seen what AMD has done lately. You see what DocuMe and LVGO and all these other leaders do. However, as my career moved on, my personal methodology, looking for these particular signals that I would get, that became way more lucrative. Started to put more of my money in there. And after about 2013, or what was it? I think it was about So about right around 2003, I started focusing more on my methodology till about 2010. Then I went back to Can Slim, and in 2013, started focusing on my methodology again. But this year, boy, oh boy, it's been like the Can Slim quality stocks, the higher quality stocks. But my methodology has still been doing well. I just have been trading like shit. So it's kind of preventing me from making these video lessons along with being busy. But here's the good news. If you guys don't remember my previous video lessons, I always talk to you about this monthly time segment volume. This monthly time segment volume line. You can see on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it tried to cross green on a monthly basis, but has turned back lower. The signal line is still moving lower, right? Okay, this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average now. Now on a weekly time frame, not good on the DIA. On a daily, hey, we're still looking good. That signal line has curled up, the lead line is above it, and it's trending higher. So this is good news for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It looks good. It's in a squeeze. We'll take a look at that on the other charts just to show you how well they're standing up. But the weekly and monthly still isn't lined up. Now, that being said, look at the monthly of the QQQ now. QQQ continues to rock. It changed in April from red to green. The signal line was still moving lower, but as you can see, it's starting to curl up. And we're getting massive separation in the QQQ. Now, what this normally means when this happens is great things are about to happen. And you might be saying, how the hell can that happen after the move we've had? Well, I'm not telling you that the move isn't ridiculous, but who's to say it can't get extremely ridiculous and we can't shoot straight to the moon? Because when this indicator starts to open up and trend higher, great things not only happen to the index, but with my stock selection. Not only is the monthly good, the weekly is green, and the daily is green on the QQQ. Green means go. So this index is completely lined up right now. This is a very rare occurrence that you get the daily, weekly, monthly all lined up. And when it is, when we get signals on NASDAQ stocks, it's now time to push. Not only that, on a daily, you can see we're in a medium squeeze. So, I don't know. To me, that looks bullish. Just like the DIA, even though the weekly and monthly isn't turned bullish yet, we're entering a squeeze. Overall, this chart looks bullish to me. Now, the IWM, this is my bread and butter one. Unfortunately, I only have data going back to 2003 here. But remember, my best period ever in my career, and I'm still riding my coattails from this time period, was 2003 to 2007. I made a shitload of money. Is it any coincidence that during that entire time the time segment volume was basically green the whole way. Yeah, you get some red bars here, but you can see how the signal line is moving up the whole way from 2003 all the way into 2007, 4 straight years of big money. Same similar situation can be seen here from 2009. This one actually crossed a little bit earlier, but still, once that signal line turned up in late 2009, all the way to these 2011 highs, great things happen. Same thing with 2013, all the way into 2014. Same thing with late 2016, all the way to 2018. What's amazing is that this is the only index where the time segment volume and the price action has lined up. This thing went negative in July of 2018 and hasn't been green since. This is the longest time period that, as you can even see on this chart. Now, I don't have old data on the IWM, but I can look at the SPY. This is the longest period ever that an index has been in such a downtrend for such a period of long time. It's been 2 straight years. So hopefully this is about to turn. Why do I say that? Because the weekly, we're starting to curl up, trend up. We tested it here, and we're moving higher. So the TSV is curling up. The daily time frame is green. Now, with all that in mind, now let's switch over to the SPY. The SPY, this is my secondary one. So it's always the IWM and SPY. QQQ and the DIA, these are kind of always on the side for me until this most recent rally. Now the QQQ is in the forefront, obviously. But the QQQ on the daily, you can see we're green, and that signal line slowly curling up. We're starting to get separation between the lead line and signal line with it already above it. Should be indicative of good things happening. We're also in the squeeze. Now, not only is that green on the SPY, but look at the weekly. We're starting to flatten out on that signal line. We've gone green. And more importantly, the monthly has gone green. Now, why is all this important? Because I'm going to tell you right now, guys, when this is green, great things happen. When it's red, bad things happen. Green, good things happen. Red, bad things happen. Green, with the signal line moving higher, good things happen. Red, bad things happen. Now, normally, when it's red, bad things happen, but an unprecedented amount of quantitative easing has left the SPY near the highs. Now, like I said, the signal line continues to stop because it's still currently dropping. That turns up and we get separation between the lead line and signal line. We could be looking at another period like 2017, 2009, 2013. And God, if we could only have the 90s. Look at this period, 1996 to 2000. And then that IWM, remember, 2003 to 2007. It'd be amazing if we could get things like that. Why is that important? Because I know in my personal trading, I'm hit and miss during these red periods, but when I'm green on a monthly time frame, I get some great signals, and they really work. And when I mean work, you're about to see what can happen. Now, this entire market time frame 2020 has thrown me left and right. It's really shaken me around. But I still want to show you the gains that have been made during that time. And yes, I've had a lot of them, but I've been shaken out of so many stocks before they then reverse and move higher. It's just crazy. But I want to show you what the signals look like when they show up. And if you're in this kind of green zone, how you can really push it. But all that being said, there's one key ingredient missing, and I want to show you right now what that is. It's this right here, the VIX. So, monthly green, weekly green, daily green on the SPY or IWM. It currently is on the QQQ and SPY, which is great. Fantastic. We can load the boat on any signal I get. If you really like it, load the boat. And to me, load the boat's 20% of my account capital. If you have a small account, you could even go 50, 100%. If you trade like that in an era of $0 commissions, if you get filled, because we only get filled on strength usually. We normally want it to go up and through our good to cancel stop limit levels. You need to probably put half at a break even. So that way, if it works immediately, you're in the green. Half is you won't lose on half of your position at break even. If it doesn't work immediately, you're just out of half. You're in half to see if it works until it hits my final recommended good to cancel sell stop. If that doesn't happen and it moves on, you're sitting pretty. If it doesn't hit the break even or the final sell stop, this is how you make big money. However, do you remember what I was showing you with all of those uptrends like in 2003 to 2007? I want you to notice something. Notice how the VIX is below this blue line here. Okay. It's very important because it's a major thing. It's major, major, major. I can't even stress that enough. God, I can't even go back far enough on this. And I want to show you even during the 90s, at the early part of the 90s, whenever we were looking good, we're basically below 20. And even during the high volatility environments in 97, 98, 99, 2000, we were at 20 a lot. You can just see that we're still at 20. Even though we go above 30, we're in this range. You can see there's a lot of touches of this 20. But when we're below 20, this is when amazing things happen with my portfolio. Now, same here. Look at 2009, 2000, all the way to, just look at all this time that's spent below 20. This indicates low volatility. We don't have to worry about the shakeouts. Right now, the VIX, it's still above 20. It is below 30, so we're in a good spot. But the best spot's going to be once this index is below here. And when that happens, great, great, great things can happen. And let me just show you some of those trades. So VISL, this is all in a non-ideal market environment. I was late adding this to the system, but this was the long signal here. When I try to wrap up this video lesson, I just want to show you what it looked like. This was the signal, okay? This is a signal. We get long if you get filled, but we did get filled. I just happened to trade it horribly. That being said, look at the short-term move it made. 500% gain in a little over 1 month. This would be 1,000% gain in a better market. Also, it'd be easier to hold. I wouldn't trade it. Now, granted, these are the stocks that you should have been focusing on this uptrend without me knowing it. The leaders, DXCM, AMD, LVGO, NVAX, all of these. These should have been the ones that everybody's focused on. The relative strength leaders. This is normally, they're going to be your best stocks, PTON. And normally I do focus on these, but why would I do that when I have stocks like VISL that move 500% in that short period of time? PFSW was one of our easier ones to get a big position in, perfect speculator wise. But once again, guess what took me all out? Right here. And here we are back to the highs, but you can see there's a near 100% gain following our entry into PFSW. PRTS is one that I'm actually still long. This is what it looked like on its signal day. Look at this. Look at this. Is it perfect? No. It's extended from those moving averages that you see. The 50 and 200, very extended. That being said, hey, worked out pretty damn well for PRTS. We're up 59% in a little over 1 month. And this isn't a bad market. This is a good market, bad market for my methodology. How about BNTX? Here was the signal here. I want to show you what it looked like whenever the signal was triggered. Oh, God. Is it IPO? Yep. So this is what it, damn it. So this is what it looked like here. Boom. Pocket pivot point signal even. Boom, boom, boom. But guess what happened? Shook me out here. And then, was that it? That's where I got shaken out. Two tightest stops. That being said, and it's still in a very short period of time, bam, 100% gain in 2 months. This just shows you what can happen. NFE, this is one that I'm actually in. This is what the signal looked like. Pretty damn solid, right? Too bad Bop didn't hit Max Green on that move right there. But still, you can see NFE. What is that? In a very short period of time, 73% gain in 1 month. IMV, still have a position in IMV. This is one that shook me out of most of my position, but it didn't shake me out of all of it. You can see in a very short period of time, excuse me, 100% gain in 1.5 months. Then, of course, there's ZM. Guess who no longer has a position in ZM, but it's still working. Zoom Media, 148% gain in 4 months. Then, PRPO. That's right. I was long PRPO. Right here was our signal. This is what it looked like. We get long. You can see the massive move higher. PRPO, 455% gain in a little over 2 weeks. Did I have any size in it? You know I didn't. ELA, same thing. Look at this one back here. Look at the move it made, 288%. I want to remind everybody, all of these moves are in non-ideal conditions for my methodology. The focus should still be on those cancel quality stocks, those high relative strength stocks like PTON, and then you go for options. Right here, it was in the squeeze, produced a signal, Look at this gain, 101%. The options are up over 1,000% during that time. Just look at all these guys. mRNA, this was my signal here. Shook me completely out. Since the signal, mRNA, 220%. IBIO, there's the signal. IBIO, this is the signal right here. What are we up now in the IBIO? I still have a position, 1,967%. Do you see me going on the internet and Twitter and posting my returns and bragging about them? No, of course you don't, because I don't have a huge position anymore. VXRT, here is our long signal. That's why there's a white arrow there. 1,225% gain. UMRX, here's another one. I have a very small position still left in. UMRX, 668% gain since our signal. EQ, that's right. We got long EQ. Bam, 885% gain in under a month. Too bad I can't get any size in any of these, huh? AIM. There's AIM's first signal right back here. To that high there in a short period of time, 470% gain in a little over 2 weeks. I'm still long AIM, have a position. Still looks good. Added to it. Hopefully it works out. If not, no big deal. And then I'm going to wrap up this video lesson with ECOR, because unfortunately, the old rules would have been, once I saw it gapping up in the morning, to sell 20% at the highs. But I held out for it to hopefully hit 330. Didn't hit 330. Still wanted to show everybody in a short period of time, that's a 35% gain. So while I'm trading like shit, I've got members making a lot of money on these signals. They're out there. You can see the potential returns. And just to let you know, that's all been in a market environment that, while it has been strong for the overall market and for leading stocks, it's not been good for my methodology, because I can't tell what's going to be an ECOR and not, because the entry signals aren't like they used to be. NFE kind of signals used to be more prevalent. See these everywhere. I really know whenever things are lined up, TSV and VIX wise, to load the boat in a signal like this, and it works. Same with PRTS. You get a signal like that, you know, I got to go heavy. I got to go heavy and risk a stop loss at break even. But in this market where things haven't been lined up, haven't been able to do that. That being said, the TSV is there. Now I just need the VIX under 20, and I can really get aggressive. But at least I have step one, that time segment volume. That's what TSV stands for on my side. All right, I'm going to wrap the video lesson up there. If you enjoyed or learned anything, give me a thumbs up. Questions, comments, concerns, curmudgeons, statements you want to make, leave them in the comments section below. Ring the bell, subscribe if you haven't, and I will hopefully see you next weekend. If not, reminder, I run a very inexpensive service, Look at all those gains I just showed you. I give every single one of those trade ideas to you before I enter the orders on my end. Anyone and everyone can front run me. I tell you exactly what I'm looking for to enter. I give you the exact level that I tell you where the good to cancel buy stop is. I tell you where the good to cancel buy limit's going to be. I tell you where the stops need to be, the good to cancel sell stops. And it's a set it and forget it kind of system when it works out. Do I have losers? Yeah, I have a shitload. But we always cut our losses as soon as possible when we're wrong. That's why I've been shaken out of all these winners, because I cut my losses immediately. I can't stand even losing $1. And that's caused me to miss out on some big gains. Hopefully with things starting to line up, that will change. All right, everyone. I'll see you hopefully next weekend. Aloha.